One could almost forget that Cuba is an island with hundreds of miles of coastline, all jealously eyed by the tourist trade in places like Varadero and Cayo Coco. This is an additional danger for the coral, which is already suffering from global warming and rising sea levels. Cuba has not been spared these phenomena. And Juliette is on the front line. She's a marine biologist. She is carrying out a monitoring and research program on the coral, the source of all underwater life.
We're arriving at one of the many diving sites in the region. It's called Punta Perdiz. This site is easy to reach with good visibility. It contains reefs that are typical of the region. It's one of my favorite sites. It looks like there are quite a few Polish people who have come to dive. Hello!
I'm sewing coral right now.
You're already sewing. I can't believe it.
They're covering the area again.
Oh, that's great. Well done. Make sure it's deep enough.
When you go that way, take a look at my little cuttings.
He sewed corals. That's great.
Tourism is a boon for the Cuban economy. But from the point of view of those protecting the environment, it's a real danger and a source of imbalance.
Tourist numbers have risen sharply here. It's a very practical spot for diving with easy access. What's more, its ecosystem is quite well preserved, with a wide diversity of species, some of which are rare. That makes it unique and very attractive among all the ecosystems of the Cuban archipelago. But all these tourists pose a genuine threat. During the summer period, when the temperature rises, the coral becomes bleached. It is then much more vulnerable. We have to preserve it and treat it with care. That's the challenge for most of the guides who bring visitors to the area. The reefs are full of life, and there is a large area of living coral. And what's more, there are a lot of herbivorous fish which are essential for reefs because they regulate seaweed, and they can be in competition with the corals in terms of space, and that's great. These are very good abiotic indicators and show that the reefs are in good condition. These are artificial structures which are identical to those being tested in other places around the Caribbean. The aim is to make corals reproduce at a faster rate. It's a structure which is located in the water column, and we think coral grown like this doesn't use so much energy. It's in a good position for feeding. I haven't been to inspect it for about 6 months, and it's really grown a lot. They've grown so much, and they're in perfect health. This is a species which grows around 10 centimeters per year, but with this structure, it seems to grow much faster. It seems the procedure allows the coral to feed more efficiently, so we're taking a gamble on this. Using this system, we might be able to restore the coral.
Here we are on the platforms where they used to dry coffee. Buena Vista used to have around 200 to 210 slaves. Here they used to remove the outer layer and sort the coffee.
Fidel Hernandez has devoted his life to the preservation of the Sierra Rosaria Reserve. Intensive agriculture and livestock rearing was practiced in this region during the period of Spanish colonization.
In 1968, there was practically no vegetation left on this mountain. There were only prairies which were used for livestock rearing. Since then, the landscape has been reborn, and it's totally different today.
De verdad.
To achieve this, we had to build more than 1,500 kilometers of terraces and plant some 7 million trees. That's why this place is called Las Terrazas. It was an effort I describe as superhuman. They worked 24 hours a day with the conviction and desire to make something unique here. It's an example to follow, not only for our country, but for the whole world, where every year the world's forest cover is diminishing by 22 million hectares. This shows that we can recover this wonderful place for future generations. This is the Maroa flower. There are a considerable number of plants which have medicinal qualities. For example, this is a plant whose Latin name is Alophilus communia. Its leaves are used to reduce the level of sugar in the blood and to treat diabetes.
Reducir los niveles de azúcar, o sea, la diabetes en sangre. Ese es un bosque con similares características.
We can't say that we're dealing with a primary forest here,
A composición de especies.
but there are some characteristics similar to what the primary forest was.
Proceso largo que necesita
The density, the variety of species, and its structure.
que llegue al bosque meta, a un
But it will take a very long time to return to something resembling a primary forest, and that of the Sierra Rosaria.
en la Sierra de Rosario. Y sobre el árbol muerto hay un
At the top of this dead tree,
ahí está. Es
there's a
una
woodpecker.
avellana.
It's an indigenous bird,
¿Lo ves?
up there with the red head.
Rojo. Allá
Look down there, about 10 meters away. You can see the tocororo. Just there, up ahead, about 5 meters up. The tocororo is Cuba's national bird because it has the colors of our flag, red, white and blue. It's a shy bird, but it can be easily located when it sings. When I began studying the ornithology of this forest, there were around 60 species. Today, we have 119 species of bird.
Remember I told you about the different family, the yellow one family. We use the timber for many things.
Cuba has the largest biodiversity heritage in the whole of the Caribbean. We need to conserve it and take care of it.